life and layouts, and today I have a process video for you with a sketch created by Heather Little, and I'll get into a little bit more details about that in just a second. I'm using this Dino and Friends from Echo Park, and I'm going to be scrapbooking these photos of the experience at Universal. Blue, if you guys have seen Jurassic Park, is one of the raptors that's from the movie, and so they have an experience there for that. So, and I really wanted to capture the boys' faces because they knew something was going to happen, but they weren't sure. So you can tell that these pictures are exactly the same, but all of their facial expressions are very funny in them. So I am using this sketch. It was created by Heather's Crafty Life, and it is posted over on Scrapbooking, Layouts, and More. It is their April sketch challenge, and you have until the end of April 2019 to post a layout using this sketch for a chance to win a random prize. And I believe the prize is sponsored by my little scrapbook store. I believe that's the name of the store. If not, I'll put it in the video. So what I'm trying to do is just figure out the layers of all of my papers. So I'm using this polka dot in the background, and then I wanted to use the Dino word paper there, but when I put it against the polka dot, it definitely got lost. So I pulled out this craft paper and backed it with just a thin border so that it sets apart from the polka dot. And then I have this star paper in the red, and I knew that I was going to use that star paper to span across the layout, so I tried to save as much of that paper as I could because I knew I was going to use it on the right side of my layout as well. So now I'm just trying to trim down my photos so that they fit in this spot. There's lots of dead space at the bottom and on the sides of the photo, so I'm just trimming it down until I can get a good size. So keep trimming. So I'm not exactly sure on the size. It was just trimmed down to the size that looked right, and I could still see some of the words behind it. So this yellow paper is super bright, but I feel like if you use super bright papers in very small doses, the border around these photos are very, very tiny. So it really does give it that pop of color, but not overwhelming like if I was to use it as where the polka dots is or where the red stars are. So I'm going to ink up all of my edges in this red distress ink and then adhere everything down. And if you do not own a T-square ruler, I would highly, highly recommend it. I love my T-square ruler. It is probably one of the most inexpensive tools that I have in my supplies. It's only, I think, about $7 or $8 on Amazon. Because if you're going to be cutting pieces and layering, you could definitely save paper by layering, and you'll need that T-square ruler to make sure that your paper is straight. So I pulled out my Creative Memories circle cutter to cut my circle, and it looks like this circle in the sketch is probably a lot bigger than the circle that I cut, but that was the largest size circle that I have. I do have the Martha Stewart circle cutter, but I do not have success with that thing at all. Every time I use it, it just messes up. And the Creative Memories circle cutters are old. I've probably had those for at least 10 years, and they still cut perfectly every time. I did have a little piece where I didn't push down hard enough, and I had to trim it out with my paper, but that was more a user error than the device error. So this is where I am using my T-square ruler and pulling it out, making sure that my papers line up between the 2-page layout. And then I'm going to take these other 4 photos that I have. And again, they're the same photos. The photographer took a bunch of them just to get the experience, because when you first stand up there, the raptor is just standing there, but then he leans forward a little bit and roars at you. So Jackson knew that was coming, so he was kind of holding on to me real tight, and you can definitely see that in the photos. So again, spanning my paper across the layouts and hiding that gap between the photos, and you can't even tell that I didn't use a full sheet of paper. So I was able to cover both sides of the layouts with only one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And so I wanted to add a couple of layers to the left side since I have so many layers on the right. So I'm pulling out the circle paper or the paper that I use to cut the circle, that dinosaur paper, because it's probably the smallest paper used on the left side of the layout. So I wanted to bring it over to the right. So I cut that, I think, at like 4 inches by 11.5 inches. And put that on behind the photos as well. And now I'm putting the photos down. I also use that yellow cardstock to mount all of these photos. Again, in small doses, that it takes away from the brightness. So I am using my banner punch to punch this banner or this strip of stickers, and it's in a plaid. I really like the plaid. This paper pad, I purchased this paper pad months ago because we do have lots. I mean, we have boys, so we have lots and lots of dinosaur photos. But I also got an extra one in the warehouse box sale that I purchased, which I was glad to have because I was kind of running low on the stickers, as you can see on this sticker sheet here. I've used it quite a bit, and so it was nice to have another full sticker sheet as well as some more of that pattern paper, because I have definitely used this pattern or this paper pad a lot. So I'm trying to pull in as much blue as I can, because that's going to be my title is just going to be blue, which is the name of the raptor from Jurassic Park. So I pulled in a blue dinosaur down there at the bottom, a blue cloud at the top, and then I did put that little volcano down, just straight down, but I didn't like the way that it looked, and I wanted to layer it a little bit, so I decided to put it up on fun foam and then put it back down, kind of layering it behind the dinosaur. And then I also found this square that had a dinosaur in it, and I do not know these dinosaurs' names. I really wish that I should probably learn them with the boys and their interest in dinosaurs. But a flying dinosaur is there at the top, so I thought that would be appropriate to put above the photos, so it kind of looks like he's flying next to that cloud. I also got the brads. I believe I got this in the warehouse box as well. No, I've used way too many of those for it to be in the warehouse box, because I just got the warehouse box. So I must have picked these up at Tuesday morning before. So I'm using these 3 brads, another dinosaur, and then a polka dot, and then a red gemstone is what I'm going to put on there. And then definitely use washi tape on the back to make sure that your layouts don't get stuck when you put them in the albums. And I used to use this technique a lot, and I haven't used it in a while, and so I was like, I just want to add just a little bit of touch. So I just turn down the corner of the page and then use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to attach it. And then a tip is to put a pencil in it, and it puffs it up so that it helps with it not bending and being flat. So I added the dinosaur rules on the right hand side, and then I'm adding these 3 stickers with the stars in it, and then it's very hard to see in the video because it's the green is so dark, but there are 2 little dinosaur footprints in there, like in a dark charcoal color. So then I'm going to use these titles, these blue sticker letters, to add my title, and my title is just going to be blue, and these stickers are from LE Studios, and I love their puffy alphabet stickers. So I did take this green sticker, and I needed a background for it because I didn't want to put it against the green dark cardstock. So I used the branding strip of one of the papers that had the yellow in it and used that to back this really small sticker. And then I added that on top of the title of blue. And that is it for my layout. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching it. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you like this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Definitely go check out the Scrapbooking Layouts and More Facebook group. I'll post that below. And if you want to take this challenge and create a layout based on the sketch by Heather Little from Heather's Crafty Life, that would be amazing as well. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's all you're going to get on my channel. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a scrappy day.